There's something about success that most people don't talk about. We see the results, the big houses, the fancy cars, the promotions, but we rarely stop to think about what it really takes to get there. And no, it's not just talent or luck. There's one thing that stands between where you are now and where you want to be, and that's work ethic. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have it all together? They're always moving forward, always improving, always achieving more than anyone else around them. What's their secret? Is it because they were born with some magical ability? Nope. The truth is, they've mastered the art of showing up every single day, even when it's hard, even when they don't feel like it. That's the power of a strong work ethic. Here's the deal. Building a strong work ethic isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about understanding why you do what you do. When you wake up in the morning, do you have a reason to get out of bed? Do you have a purpose driving you? If not, then chances are you'll hit snooze on your alarm clock and put off the things that matter most. But when you find that why, everything changes. Suddenly, the early mornings aren't so bad. The long hours don't feel as draining. You're fueled by something bigger than yourself. But here's the catch. Having a purpose isn't enough. You also need discipline. Discipline is like fuel for your engine. Without it, you won't go anywhere, no matter how clear your destination is. Think about it like this. Imagine someone hands you the keys to a brand new car. It's sleek, shiny, and ready to take you wherever you want to go. But if you never put gas in the tank, it's not going to move. Discipline is the gas. It's showing up consistently, doing the small things day after day, even when nobody's watching. And here's the beautiful part. Discipline builds momentum. At first, it feels like a grind. You might struggle to stay focused, to push through the tough days. But over time, those little actions add up. Before you know it, you've created habits that make success almost automatic. That's the magic of consistency. It compounds just like interest in a bank account. Every effort you make today pays off tomorrow. So how do you develop this kind of mindset? Start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Pick one area where you can improve, a habit you can build, a skill you can sharpen, and focus on that. Maybe it's waking up 15 minutes earlier. Maybe it's dedicating 30 minutes a day to learning something new. Whatever it is, commit to it fully. Over time, those tiny steps will turn into giant leaps. Another key piece of advice: surround yourself with the right people. You've probably heard the saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, guess what? It's true. If you're hanging around folks who drain your energy, who complain instead of create, who settle instead of strive, you'll start to adopt those same behaviors. But if you surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you to be better, who believe in your potential, you'll rise to meet them. Now let's talk about something that trips a lot of people up: distraction. We live in a world where distractions are everywhere. Social media notifications, endless entertainment options, even well-meaning friends or family members who pull us away from our goals. And here's the truth: if you're serious about building a strong work ethic, you've got to learn how to manage these distractions. It's not about eliminating them entirely, that's impossible, but it's about creating boundaries. You need to carve out space in your day, both physically and mentally, where you can focus on what truly matters. Think about it this way. Imagine you're trying to fill a bucket with water, but there's a hole at the bottom. No matter how much water you pour in, it's never going to stay full. That's what distractions do to your progress. They leak away your energy, your time, and your focus. So ask yourself, what are the biggest leaks in your bucket? Is it scrolling through your phone for hours? Is it saying yes to every request that comes your way, even when it doesn't align with your goals? Identify those leaks, and then take steps to patch them up. Maybe it's setting specific times to check your phone or learning to say no politely, but firmly. Whatever it is, protecting your focus is non-negotiable. Another thing I want to touch on is patience. Oh, patience. It's one of those words we all nod along to, but deep down, most of us struggle with it. We want results fast. We see someone else achieving success, and we think, why not? Why isn't it happening faster? But here's the reality. Anything worth having takes time. A strong work ethic isn't built overnight. It's shaped over months, years, even decades of consistent effort. And that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's beautiful. Because when you put in the time, when you show up again and again, you earn something that can't be taken away from you. You earn resilience. You earn confidence. You earn the knowledge that you didn't just stumble into success, you worked for it. So how do you stay patient when the road feels long? First, celebrate the small wins. Did you stick to your plan today? Celebrate that. Did you make progress, even if it was just a little bit? Celebrate that too. These moments may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but they add up. They remind you that you're moving forward, even if it doesn't always feel like it. Second, keep your eyes on the big picture. Remember why you started. When you connect your daily actions to your larger purpose, it becomes easier to stay the course. Now let's shift gears for a moment and talk about failure. Nobody likes to fail. It's uncomfortable, frustrating, and sometimes downright painful. But here's the thing. Failure is part of the process. If you're not failing occasionally, you're probably not pushing yourself hard enough. Some of the greatest successes in history came after countless failures. People tried, fell flat on their faces, got back up and tried again. And guess what? You can do the same. Failure doesn't define you unless you let it. What defines you is how you respond to it. When you fail, and you will, don't beat yourself up. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? Every failure is a lesson in disguise. It's showing you what doesn't work so you can figure out what does. Use it as fuel to keep going. And remember, failure isn't final unless you decide to quit. As long as you're still breathing, you have another chance to try again. Speaking of trying again, let's talk about perseverance. Perseverance is the backbone of a strong work ethic. It's what keeps you going when things get tough. And trust me, things will get tough. There will be days when you feel like giving up, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, when the finish line feels impossibly far away. But here's the secret. Perseverance isn't about being superhuman. It's about taking one more step. Even if it's a tiny step, it still moves you forward. And once you take that step, you realize you can take another, and then another. Before you know it, you've climbed higher than you ever thought possible. One of the best ways to build perseverance is by reminding yourself of your past victories. Think back to a time when you faced a challenge and overcame it. Maybe it was finishing a project at work, running a marathon, or even just sticking to a New Year's resolution. Whatever it was, you proved to yourself that you're capable of more than you think. Tap into that memory whenever doubt creeps in. Tell yourself, if I did it before, I can do it again. Let's shift our attention now to mindset. Your mindset plays a huge role in shaping your work ethic. If you approach life with a fixed mindset, the belief that your abilities are set in stone, you're going to limit yourself. You'll shy away from challenges because you're afraid of failure. But if you adopt a growth mindset, the belief that you can improve with effort and practice, you open yourself up to endless possibilities. With a growth mindset, every challenge becomes an opportunity to learn. Every setback becomes a stepping stone to success. How do you cultivate a growth mindset? Start by reframing the way you think about effort. Instead of seeing hard work as a chore, see it as a privilege. You're investing in yourself. You're becoming the best version of you. Next, embrace feedback. Constructive criticism isn't a personal attack, it's a gift. It shows you where you can improve. Finally, surround yourself with positivity. Read books, listen to podcasts, watch videos that inspire you to keep growing. Feed your mind with thoughts that lift you up, not drag you down. Now let's talk about balance. Building a strong work ethic doesn't mean burning yourself out, far from it. To sustain your efforts over the long haul, you need to take care of yourself. That means getting enough rest, eating well, exercising, and spending time with loved ones. Burnout is real, and it can derail even the strongest work ethic. So don't fall into the trap of thinking that working 24/7 is the key to success. It's not. Success is about working smart and living fully. Here's a practical tip. Schedule downtime just like you would any other task. Block off time in your calendar to relax, recharge, and do things that bring you joy. Whether it's reading a book, going for a walk, or simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea, make sure you give yourself permission to unplug. This isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to tackle whatever comes your way. Another important aspect of building a strong work ethic is accountability. Accountability means owning your actions, whether they lead to success or failure. It means not making excuses when things go wrong. Instead of blaming external circumstances, look inward. Ask yourself, what could I have done differently? How can I avoid making the same mistake next time? Taking responsibility might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's empowering. It puts you in the driver's seat of your life. To stay accountable, consider sharing your goals with someone you trust. It could be a friend, a mentor, or even an online community. Having someone to cheer you on and hold you to your commitments can make a world of difference. Just knowing that someone else is rooting for you can motivate you to push through the tough times. Plus, celebrating your wins together makes the journey even more rewarding. Now let's talk about passion. Passion is often misunderstood. People think it's this magical spark that appears out of nowhere, lighting up your path and guiding you effortlessly toward success. But the truth is, passion usually grows over time. It's cultivated through action, not waiting around for inspiration to strike. You don't have to love every minute of what you're doing to be passionate about it. Sometimes passion comes from seeing the impact of your work, from knowing that you're making a difference, even in small ways. If you're struggling to find passion in your current situation, start by looking for meaning. Ask yourself, how does my work contribute to something bigger than myself? Even mundane tasks can become meaningful when you connect them to a larger purpose. For example, if you're working a job you don't particularly enjoy, focus on how it helps you provide for your family or save money for future dreams. Finding meaning transforms drudgery into dedication. Let's circle back to consistency for a moment. Consistency is the glue that holds everything together. Without it, even the best intentions fall apart. Think of consistency as a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start by committing to small, manageable actions every day. Over time, those actions become habits, and those habits become second nature. Soon you won't even have to think about staying disciplined. It'll just happen automatically. But consistency isn't just about repetition. it's also about quality. It's not enough to show up half-heartedly. You need to bring your best effort to the table, even if it's just a small task. Why? Because excellence breeds excellence. When you consistently strive to do your best, you raise the bar for yourself. You set a standard that pushes you to grow and improve. Now let's address self-doubt. Everyone experiences self-doubt at some point. Even the most successful people have moments where they question their abilities. The difference is they don't let those doubts stop them. Instead, they acknowledge them, then move forward anyway. Self-doubt isn't the enemy, it's a natural part of the process. The key is not to let it control you. When self-doubt creeps in, remind yourself of your strengths. Write them down if you need to. Look back at your accomplishments and remind yourself of how far you've come. Talk to people who believe in you. Their encouragement can help silence the negative voices in your head. Most importantly, take action. Action silences doubt faster than anything else. When you're busy doing, you don't have time to dwell on fears. Now let's talk about resilience. Resilience is that inner strength that helps you bounce back from setbacks. Life throws curveballs at everyone. Unexpected challenges, disappointments, moments where everything feels like it's falling apart. But here's the thing, resilient people don't crumble under pressure. They adapt, they find a way to keep going, even when the odds are stacked against them. Building resilience starts with mindset. When something goes wrong, instead of asking, why me? Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Shift your focus from what you can't control to what you can. That simple shift changes everything. Another key to resilience is staying flexible. Sometimes the path to success doesn't look the way you thought it would. Plans fall through, opportunities disappear, and you're forced to pivot. That's okay. Flexibility is a superpower. It allows you to adjust your approach without losing sight of your goals. Think of it like driving in heavy traffic. You might not be able to take the route you originally planned, but you can still get to your destination if you're willing to try different roads. Be open to change and trust that every detour is teaching you something valuable. Speaking of trust, let's talk about trusting the process. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's a series of small, consistent actions that compound over time. But here's the catch. You won't always see immediate results. There will be days when it feels like nothing is working, like all your effort is wasted. On those days, remind yourself that growth often happens beneath the surface. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Trust that every step you take is moving you closer to where you want to be. Keep showing up, keep putting in the work, and eventually, you'll break through. One of the best ways to stay motivated during those slow periods is by focusing on the process, not just the outcome. Instead of obsessing over the end goal, enjoy the journey. Find joy in the daily grind, whether it's learning a new skill, solving a problem, or simply ticking off items on your to-do list. There's satisfaction in doing the work. When you fall in love with the process, the results become secondary. You realize that the real reward isn't the destination, it's who you become along the way. Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about fear. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles to building a strong work ethic. It holds people back from taking risks, trying new things, or stepping outside their comfort zones. But here's the truth. Fear is just a feeling. It's not a fact. It's your mind's way of protecting you from uncertainty. The problem is, if you let fear call the shots, you'll miss out on so many opportunities for growth. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting in spite of it. Every time you face your fears, you grow stronger. You prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. If fear is holding you back, start small. Take baby steps outside your comfort zone. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting, starting a side project, or sharing your ideas with others. Each time you do something that scares you, you build confidence. Over time, those little acts of courage add up, and you'll find yourself tackling bigger challenges with ease. Remember, fear doesn't go away completely. Even the most successful people experience it. The difference is, they don't let it stop them. They acknowledge it, then take action anyway. Now let's talk about focus. In a world filled with distractions, focus is a rare and valuable skill. It's the ability to zero in on what truly matters and tune out everything else. But focus doesn't just happen, it's a choice. You have to decide what's important and commit to it fully. One of the best ways to sharpen your focus is by setting clear priorities. Ask yourself, what's the one thing I need to accomplish today? Not 3 things, not 5 things, one thing. Once you identify that priority, give it your undivided attention. Eliminate anything that pulls you away from it, whether it's social media, unnecessary meetings, or multitasking. Multitasking is a trap, by the way. It might seem efficient, but studies show it actually reduces productivity. When you split your attention between multiple tasks, you lose focus and make more mistakes. Instead, practice single tasking. Give each task your full attention before moving on to the next one. This not only improves the quality of your work, but also makes you more efficient in the long run. Focus is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Let's talk about habits now. Habits are the foundation of a strong work ethic. They automate the behaviors that lead to success, so you don't have to rely on willpower alone. Willpower is finite. It runs out after a while. But habits are automatic. They allow you to make progress even on days when you don't feel motivated. The key to building good habits is starting small. Don't try to overhaul your entire routine overnight. Pick one habit you want to develop and focus on mastering it before adding another. For example, if you want to read more books, start by committing to just 5 pages a day. Once that becomes a habit, you can increase it to 10 pages, then 20. Small wins lead to big changes. Consistency is crucial when it comes to habits. It's better to do a little bit every day than to do a lot sporadically. Think of it like watering a plant. If you water it consistently, it grows steadily. But if you skip days or weeks, it wilts. The same principle applies to your habits. Show up every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Over time, those small efforts compound into incredible results. Another important aspect of building a strong work ethic is self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to understand your strengths, weaknesses, and triggers. When you know yourself well, you can play to your strengths and work on your weaknesses. You can recognize when you're procrastinating or avoiding a task, and you can address it head-on. Self-awareness also helps you manage your emotions. If you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, you can pause and ask yourself, what's really going on here? Am I tired, hungry, distracted? Once you identify the root cause, you can take steps to fix it. To cultivate self-awareness, Practice reflection. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to think about how it went. What did you do well? What could you improve? What lessons did you learn? Journaling can be a helpful tool for this. Writing down your thoughts forces you to clarify them, and it creates a record you can refer back to later. Over time, you'll start noticing patterns in your behavior, and you can use that insight to make better decisions. Let's talk about optimism for a moment. Optimism isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about believing that things will get better, even when they're tough right now. Optimistic people see challenges as temporary roadblocks, not permanent barriers. They believe in their ability to overcome obstacles, and that belief gives them the courage to keep going. Cultivating optimism starts with how you talk to yourself. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Are you constantly criticizing yourself, focusing on what's wrong or expecting the worst? If so, it's time to reframe your thoughts. Replace negative self-talk with positive affirmation. Remind yourself that you're capable, resourceful, and resilient. Optimism also involves surrounding yourself with positivity. Spend time with people who uplift you, who see the best in you, and who encourage you to keep pushing forward. Limit your exposure to negativity, whether it's toxic relationships, pessimistic news, or unhelpful social media feeds. Protect your mental space, because what you consume shapes your mindset. Now, let's talk about purpose. Purpose is the driving force behind a strong work ethic. When you have a clear sense of purpose, you're motivated to put in the effort, even when it's hard. Purpose gives your work meaning. It connects your daily actions to a larger vision. Without purpose, it's easy to lose steam. You might start strong, but without a compelling reason to keep going, you'll eventually burn out. So take some time to define your purpose. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Who am I doing it for? How does it align with my values? Your answers will guide you and keep you grounded. Purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It can be as simple as providing for your family, pursuing a passion, or making a difference in your community. What matters is that it resonates with you personally. When your work aligns with your purpose, it stops feeling like a chore. It becomes a calling. Let's talk about teamwork for a moment. No matter how talented or driven you are, you can't achieve everything on your own. Success often depends on collaboration. Working with others brings fresh perspectives, diverse skills, and shared accountability. But teamwork requires effort. It means communicating clearly, listening actively, and respecting other people's contributions. It means being willing to compromise and support your teammates, even when it's inconvenient. When you approach teamwork with humility and openness, you create an environment where everyone can thrive. One of the keys to effective teamwork is trust. Trust is built through consistency and reliability. When you say you'll do something, follow through. When someone shares an idea, listen without judgment. When conflicts arise, address them respectfully. Trust takes time to develop, but it's worth the investment. A team that trusts each other can accomplish extraordinary things. Now let's talk about leadership. Leadership isn't just for managers or executives. It's for anyone who wants to inspire others and drive change. True leaders lead by example. They embody the qualities they want to see in others: integrity, accountability, and determination. They don't wait for permission to take initiative. They step up and get things done. Leadership also involves empowering others. It's not about hoarding power or taking credit. It's about lifting people up and helping them succeed. When you lead with empathy and authenticity, you earn loyalty and respect. If you want to develop your leadership skills, Start by improving your communication. Clear, honest communication is the foundation of effective leadership. Practice active listening. Really pay attention when others speak and respond thoughtfully. Be transparent about your intentions and expectations, and don't be afraid to admit when you're wrong. Vulnerability builds trust and strengthens relationships. Let's talk about creativity for a moment. Creativity isn't just for artists or designers. It's a skill everyone can benefit from. Creative thinking allows you to solve problems, innovate, and stand out from the crowd. But creativity doesn't always strike like lightning. Often it's the result of persistence and experimentation. To foster creativity, give yourself permission to explore new ideas, even if they seem unconventional. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure is part of the creative process. The more you experiment, the more likely you are to stumble upon something brilliant. One of the best ways to boost creativity is by exposing yourself to new experiences. Travel, read, meet new people, try new hobbies. The more diverse your inputs, the richer your ideas will be. Creativity thrives on variety, so step out of your comfort zone and embrace curiosity. You never know where inspiration might come from. Now let's talk about time management. Time is your most valuable resource, and how you spend it determines the quality of your life. Poor time management leads to stress, missed deadlines, and unfinished projects. Effective time management, on the other hand, gives you control over your schedule and allows you to focus on what truly matters. Start by prioritizing your tasks. Use tools like to-do lists or planners to organize your day. Break large projects into smaller, manageable chunks and set deadlines for each one. This makes overwhelming tasks feel more achievable. Another key to time management is avoiding procrastination. Procrastination is the thief of time. It tricks you into thinking you have more time than you do, and before you know it, deadlines are looming, and you're scrambling to catch up. To beat procrastination, tackle your most challenging tasks first thing in the morning. This is when your energy and focus are at their peak. Once you've knocked out the hardest part of your day, everything else feels easier. Let's talk about health for a moment. Physical and mental health are essential components of a strong work ethic. You can't perform at your best if you're exhausted, sick, or overwhelmed. Taking care of your body and mind should be a top priority. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Sleep is when your brain processes information, consolidates memories, and repairs itself. Without adequate rest, you'll struggle to concentrate, make decisions, and regulate your emotions. Exercise is equally important. Regular physical activity boosts your energy levels, reduces stress, and improves your mood. You don't have to run marathons or spend hours at the gym. Even a brisk walk or a short workout can make a difference. Find an activity you enjoy and make it a regular part of your routine. Pair exercise with proper nutrition. Eating balanced meals fuels your body and keeps your mind sharp. Avoid relying on caffeine or sugar for energy. They provide short-term spikes followed by crash. Instead, opt for whole foods that sustain you throughout the day. Mental health deserves just as much attention as physical health. Chronic stress, anxiety, and burnout can derail even the strongest work ethic. Practice mindfulness techniques like meditation or deep breathing to calm your mind. Set boundaries to protect your emotional well-being. Learn to say no to commitments that drain you and make time for activities that recharge you. Remember, taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you're healthy, you're better equipped to tackle challenges and pursue your goals. Let's talk about lifelong learning. The world is constantly changing, and to stay relevant, you need to keep growing.
Lifelong learners are curious, adaptable, and open to new ideas. They seek out knowledge and skills that enhance their personal and professional lives. Whether it's reading books, attending workshops, or taking online courses, there's always room to expand your expertise. Lifelong learning keeps your mind sharp and your career prospects bright. One of the best ways to embrace lifelong learning is by setting aside time for education. Dedicate a few hours each week to learning something new. It could be related to your field, or it could be a completely different subject that sparks your interest. The goal is to keep challenging yourself and expanding your horizons. Surround yourself with people who share your passion for learning. Engage in discussions, ask questions, and exchange ideas. Learning becomes more enjoyable when you do it with others. Let's talk about legacy for a moment. Legacy isn't just about leaving something behind after you're gone. It's about the impact you make while you're here. Every action you take, every decision you make, contributes to the legacy you're building. Ask yourself, what kind of legacy do I want to leave? How do I want to be remembered? These questions can guide your choices and inspire you to live with intention. When you focus on creating a positive legacy, you naturally adopt a strong work ethic. You're motivated to give your best effort, knowing that your actions matter. Legacy isn't limited to grand gestures or monumental achievements. It's often found in the small everyday moments. It's in the kindness you show to others, the lessons you teach, and the example you set. When you live with purpose and integrity, you leave a lasting impression that extends far beyond your lifetime. Let me leave you with this thought. Success doesn't happen by accident. It's built brick by brick, decision by decision, action by action. A strong work ethic isn't just about grinding it out. It's about finding joy in the process, embracing the challenges, and knowing deep down that every step you take brings you closer to the life you dream of. So what are you waiting for? Start today. Take that first step. Show up. Be consistent. Build the discipline, and watch as your future unfolds in ways you never imagined possible. Success isn't handed to anyone. It's earned through consistent effort, discipline, and purpose. Building a strong work ethic is about more than just working hard. It's about working smart, staying focused, and embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. Surround yourself with positivity, stay patient, and trust the process. Remember, every step you take today shapes the future you dream of tomorrow. So start small, stay consistent, and let your actions speak louder than words. Your journey begins now. What are you waiting for?